Robe is on location in Brisbane, Australia, with lighting designer Dan Black. How do you know this location?
This is the Brisbane Power House. I worked here for about 10 years and finished up here about 10 years ago. It's a bit of a place close to my heart because I spent so long here. Met my wife here and we got married here as well. Yeah, so it's a bit of a special place. I think I started here about 2005 or so.
And you were the house lighting tech?
Yeah, so I've done a number of roles here. I started off as a lighting operator, just casually. Done a few other things like venue supervisor and was the head of lighting for a number of years as well. Really saw the place grow and change over time with different artistic directors. Yeah.
We want to talk about when you first got interested in lighting and why. Why lighting? What made you think lighting?
Yeah, I guess in high school I was sort of into sound and lighting. And I joined the tech crew at school. We looked after the lights and the sound in the school hall for like school events and external events, and during that time I sort of really took an interest in lighting over audio, and following that I went on to study at the Queensland University of Technology, studied a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Technical Production, which was a course of everything technical to do with theatre. We would do audio, lighting, stage management, set design, but all facets of theatre basically.
Yeah. Yeah, so that gave you a nice broad knowledge of everything involved.
It gave me a broad knowledge of everything involved that was needed in theatre, which was really great. I sort of by then knew that I wanted to get into lighting, and I knew I was into lighting, but it was really great to sort of learn what everybody else did when putting on a show.
What was your route to becoming a professional? I
made a lot of contacts in the theatre industry here in Brisbane and went on to did a lot of lighting tech work, setting up shows and packing up shows.
As a freelancer?
As a freelancer, yeah. At a number of venues, theatres in Brisbane. Went on to do a couple of small theatre tours with a couple of theatre companies here in Brisbane. And from there, at the same time, started working in a nightclub called the Family Nightclub here in Brisbane, which was good fun at the time. And that was kind of like, it was the biggest nightclub here, really great house DJs that would play every week. I sort of worked Friday and Saturday nights all night, just operating the lights, which was cool.
Was there a first big break or something like that that really set your career on its way?
There's been a few evolutions of my career, you could say. In 2015, I worked for a band at Splendour in the Grass, which is like our biggest music festival in Australia. Yeah, worked for a band there and worked all weekend with someone else from Colourblind, which is the company I work for in Melbourne. And that was kind of like my big break into the music scene in Australia, really, I think.
Excellent. What was the band?
The band are called Sapphire, and they are from Canberra. Three-piece from Canberra.
Right.
Still work for them now, actually, 10 years later.
Oh, that's
which
good.
Which is nice, yeah.
Yeah. Your work includes a mix of contemporary theatre and music. Was there anything that particularly made you look in that direction, or was that just how it evolved? I've
never been really a play or a theatre person so much, so I think that helped me gravitate towards sort of more contemporary stuff. I did a lot of work for a circus company in Brisbane called Company 2. Did a lot of their lighting designs. We toured their shows like through Europe and around Australia and places like that. And that was a really good mixture of like really fun shows with acrobatics and a band on stage and lots of energy from the crowd. We do a lot of Spiegel tent shows, so it was like really nice, tight sort of audience. Everyone's close together, a lot of energy in the room. Yeah, so I think I seem to have gravitated towards shows with a lot of energy and feeling from the audience and a lot of music in them, really.
Sort of that interactive
I think so.
Elements
yeah.
What you like.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Colourblind, the design studio that you work with. Like, when did you join and why? Sort of how did that come about?
In 2015, contracting to them. A really good friend of mine that I've been working with since the nightclub days. He was working for them and needed someone to do a show. So yeah, came on board then and have been working with them since. I currently work full-time with them doing a lot of CAD work and designing and programming shows, which is something that I love to do. There's people scattered all around Australia that work for the company. There's probably a core group of about 6 people, most of them based in Melbourne, 2 of us based in Brisbane, and then there's people in Sydney and Adelaide as well, the regular contractors.
Sure. And obviously, you design collectively sometimes on projects, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Which must be nice.
It is nice. Yeah, it's nice to have another couple of brains upon something creative. Yeah, it certainly is. There is designing on my own, but yeah, a lot of projects. There'll be the lead designer on something, and we'll come up with something and bounce it between maybe 2 other people, and we'll work through a bunch of different design iterations and come up with something that we probably wouldn't have come up with on our own. Getting those extra heads involved and getting extra views and other people's interpretation of things, which is really nice to be able to be part of that actually.
Sure.
Yeah.
I understand that you've also done some teaching at Queensland University of Technology. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah. So over the years I've worked as a venue technician at the university in a creative industries building there, which houses drama students, tech production students, music students and dance students. So it's really great to have all of those people in one building kind of working together. Quite often myself and some other venue staff would be in one of the studios with the tech production students when they were setting up a show or during their performances. So there was a lot of handing over knowledge in that time, which was really great. But further to that, I have taught some subjects. Particularly it happened during COVID when the students couldn't come in and do their practical shows and stuff like that. So we started doing a thing called virtual productions. The set designers would draw their set in SketchUp, and the lighting designers would import that model into Augmented. They'd record all their lighting cues on the Ion, and then the sound designers would put their sound pieces in as well and bounce it out and create a short show, which was really imaginative and really different way to sort of learn those skills, learn different skills. It's not the same as being in the venue and focusing a light, but it's a different set of skills that is sort of becoming more and more useful now.
Yeah, pretty much as a lighting designer you have to be able to draw now, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, draw with a computer, draw it in 3D, be able to see what it's going to look like. And the visualizers, for what I do normally on a day-to-day basis, the visualizer is just like a key piece of equipment that I use.
How about some memorable moments from your career?
Yeah.
Can you share any that stand out?
Memorable moment for me was doing a couple of bus tours over in the UK and America. I think it's a bucket list for a lot of people here in Australia because we don't do bus tours so much here. There's just, only 6 cities in Australia, 6 big cities, and it's better to fly between them here. It's just too far to drive. So yeah, to be able to have the experience of a bus tour, which was really fun kind of thing. And that was with the band Crowded House, which are a fairly big Australian band from the 80s and 90s here in Australia. I guess it was something very different. Usually we would, get up in the morning, fly pretty early, stay at the hotel that night, get up really early again, go to the airport, fly again. It was nice to be able to get onto the bus, chill out, go to sleep on the bus, get rocked to sleep, wake up in the morning at the venue, which was really lovely. But it was nice as well, like living with those people. I guess we were a bit blessed on that tour because everybody was really great.
What do you most love about your work?
Yeah, I have loved to travel a lot, seeing new places, going to places, meeting new people at the places that we go to. Certainly in Australia, I built some good friendships with people from other cities that I would regularly see again at venues. And the other aspect that I love is the show, basically, and the energy from the stage and energy from the crowd. Basically, I think that's a big thing that I feed off myself in the shows. And I also just love creating the energy of the lighting to go along with the music, basically. Can really step things up a notch, I feel like.
It's those goosebump moments.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yep.